Hi everybody, this is Jen from Scrapping Posh, and I am here with an artistic studio creation design team project. So today I am going to use all scraps to make a 4x4 by 2-inch spine mini album, and we're going to use the Stamperia music collection, and this one still is available in the store, I believe. And let's get started. Head on over to the ASCcraftsupplies.com. It's in the description below, and use ScrappingPosh10 for 10% off your normal price purchases. All month long we have a sale for 15% off our already low paper prices. So I have this album that I'm making. I think I'll share with you, but I don't know that I'm going to film this one particularly, but I will give you a share. And these were scraps from that album, and I have another album that I'm making on my weekend lives on ASC supplies. That was also scraps from that, so fun. Use up all your paper. And let's get started. So I have a lot of scraps, but I don't have any big enough to accommodate the album base here. So let's get that going, and yay, 112 by 12 piece of paper will do it. This is 4 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 5.5 inches. Put my big album aside. So if you haven't joined me yet on a live video, I usually do it Saturday night. Sometimes I do it Friday nights, but typically Friday nights I'm super tired. So usually Saturday nights around 7 or 7:30. But if you head on over to the ASC group on Facebook below, you will get notified, possibly, depending on the Facebook settings. I always announce it sometime before, so may not be able to see that very well. I do have a black chipboard. This black medium weight chipboard is available also at ASC, and it is perfect for all sorts of mini albums. Do my shortcut here. You can use score tape to put these on, but really the only thing you need score tape for is the cover. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by the cover. This is the cover. Make sure this is even. I have to get a new ruler. My ruler is like waving at me. I hope everybody is well. It's been a long time since I did a mini album on YouTube here. I have so many things happening. I have so much cool stuff coming in. I've been on a coloring kick because my scrapbook room, which is not done yet, has been put on hold because the other room in the basement is being finished. So, yeah. We will get that room finished, and then I can move all the stuff back out of here that's not supposed to be in here, and I can finish up this room, and it will be a sanctuary, and I will be one happy girl. This is not stopping me from crafting like it did before, but it's just cluttered. I've done updates on the ASC Facebook group of like my weekly progress, and I stopped doing it last week because there's so much stuff in here that shouldn't be in here. I got a stuffed turkey, some fish mounted on the wall. Not my walls, but some they're ready to be mounted on the wall. And hopefully this is going to be a super quick project, but it will be a couple videos, so just forewarning you. Basically, you just cut the album cover about 1.5 inches bigger. That gives you the 3/4. You need a 1/2 inch to 3/4 on all sides, just enough to wrap around. I use ATG tape on everything except for the cover, the wrap cover, and then we'll use something strong for the hinges. So I'm just cutting this off. Leave yourself about 1/4 inch right there. And I have lots of tutorials on how to make a cover. Every album I start basically starts with this. So, not found very many new and improved ways of doing this. I've used cloth, I've used paper. This is 65-pound cardstock. And I've used vinyl also, and they all work. Just depends on what you want to do. Always take the long side off first because that's what everybody else does. And who am I to decide that that is not the best way? So, here we go. And you want to tuck your corners in here, which consists of pushing down flush with this cover, pushing down, and then folding over, and hopefully that'll tuck for you. Not too bad. Same on this side. Take off the tape. Push down, and now when you push in to fold this, make sure that your pieces on either side of your spine go in and don't pop out, and that's why we put that piece of 1/4 inch score tape there. Besides, oops. Besides just spacing that spine out. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can do the hidden spine system. Did it for years. Works wonderfully. I have lots of tutorials on it. Head back anytime probably before last year and you will get the hidden hinge spine tutorial along with like everybody else who makes the mini albums. So yeah. Now I'm going to use a stack the page system, very much like the stack the deck system, except it's the full page. And it just avoids having to put the pages on. Just my preference. But the first thing we have to do if we're using the hidden page system is cover up the spine area here. And I'm just going to use, this is Frank Garcia tape. I have it to try out for ASC. They sent it to me to do a test to see if they wanted to carry it in the store, and it's great tape. It smells funny when you open it up, but that goes away after a while. It is great tape. I don't know that she ever actually got it though, so score tape works just as well. This is the only Frank Garcia I had, so I just figured that I would use it up first. If Frank Garcia tape was cheaper, I would buy it instead of score tape, but I don't know that it is, because they're comparable. Frank Garcia may be a little stickier, but do you really need stickier is the question. I used it to put my little phone case on the back of my phone cover after the original adhesive, after I moved it from one phone to the other. Sucker has not come off. And I put it in and out of my pocket and carry it with me all the time. So it's some good tape. Probably good for mixed media and all sorts of stuff. But I just don't know that I need that. I don't need to hang a elephant off of a cliff from a dandelion. I just need a little bit sticky. A little bit, a lot, more than ATG, but less than Gorilla Glue. Okay. Now for this, we're going to start in the middle and go out. I cut this 1/8 of an inch shorter, or yeah, about 1/8 of an inch shorter than the actual album. So it's cut at 3 7/8 because the album is 4 inches. Make sure that it's straight and push down in the middle on the spine, and then go out and go into that crease where your spine is, where your spine meets your cover. There we go. There we go. And I tend to go at it so that I can crease it, but the bone folder sometimes rips it, so I'm going to use the cover for my scissors, because the bone folders are pretty sharp by nature. Okay, let's see. So I have all these scraps here, and the first page, and I'm going to show you how to do this so you can adjust it for any album that you're going to do. You want the length of your page, your spine, and the length of your page. Okay, so the book is 4. Let's make our pages 3.5. So I have 3.5, 2, and 3.5. That's going to be 9 inches. And then we'll do 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 9. And 3 3/4. Okay. And that is going to be page 1 and whatever page that would be over there. Last. Page 1 and page last. I have some cool cream color cardstock that we're going to get into later. Now you take your scoreboard and you're going to score this at your page length, which I said was 3.5, right? 3.5 by 3 3/4. Is that what I said? And then your spine, so we're going to go 5.5. So now you have a 3.5 inch page, a 3.5 inch page, and a 5 inch page, right? No. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then you fold it up, up, and there you go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make it a 1/2 inch smaller each time. So I'm going to put that right there. That's going to be where it lay. And I'm going to find another 3.5 inch scrap, or 3 3/4 inch scrap, I'm sorry. That's more than enough. And we're going to cut it at 8.5 by 3 3/4. And all these little scraps we're going to use, so no worries. Okay. Now we're going to score it at 3.5. And instead of scoring it at 2 inches from that, you only want to score it at 1.5 inches from that. So 1/2 and 1. So you're going to score this in particular at 3.5 and 5. Okay, so you just shorten it by a 1/2 inch and score it a 1/2 inch closer to the spine. Fold, fold, and this one's going to go right here in the middle. Okay, and they're both 3.5 inches. Now the thing that I like to do with my bigger books is instead of I was thinking, instead of cutting the pages, because if they're longer than 12 inches, when they stretch across, you have different sizes. I just leave those different sizes in there. And then I just build off of that page. It adds interest, I think. Okay, so that was 8.5, so this one's going to be 3 3/4 by 8. Some small drops over here. Oh, I could use that one. And we're going to again score at 3.5. And then instead of scoring at 5, we're going to come in a 1/2 inch. So we're going to score at 4.5. So 3.5 and 4.5 for that one. Fold, fold, and we're here. And we're going to do one more page, and this one's going to be 7.5 by 3 3/4. And it's going to be scored at 3.5 and 4. Okay, and then in this page here, you're going to end up with a 1/2 inch gusset. Everything else is going to be a 1/4 inch gusset, but you can move your pages around a little bit if you want a bigger gusset on one side, etc. So I prefer more pages with less on them versus the 4 pages of the big signatures. I feel like it's more stable that way. Am I right? I don't know, because I've never done it the other way. I just feel like there's less torque on the pages if you have less on them. And in my mind, that makes sense, but I may absolutely be wrong. Essentially, there's not a whole lot different about doing it this way. I mean, the outcome anyways, as to putting less signatures in there. So the best part, I think, about this stack the page system, and I did not come up with this, by the way, I cannot find the lady who did. I watched one day and I'm like, that looks like fun. The best thing I think about this system is that you don't have to find, or you don't have to trust, I guess, yourself to put one thing down to make your entire page system. Because my biggest problem with the hidden hinge system, besides all the complicated folds, is that if you just put that down just a 32nd of an inch off, all your pages are going outside of your book. And that is me. I will tell you, that is me. I do that. Okay, this one goes right in the middle. And to ensure these are lining up, you of course look at your top and bottom, but you can lay your page flat and see if it's straight with the page that you put down before, and if it's not, you can straighten it out. That's why I use glue, not tape. And now it's all straight. If you cut straight. It looks like that one may be a little off, but I'll go with that. Okay, and then little one here. And someone asked if it was strong enough, if the spine was strong enough, and I'm going to say that it's the same exact strength as any hinge system would be. It's just put on different. You still have layer on layer of paper. I just feel better about having less paper on this. Now I did cut, oops, looks like I did cut these crooked, but my cutter's over there. So I'm reaching over to do it, and yeah, it gets wonky. Okay, so let's cover. What should we put on the outside? I have a lot of cut aparts here. This one's a really cute envelope. I'm using this one for the next size up too. So these are from the cover. So those are cool. I like the violin, but I think he may be too big to put on there unless I want to tuck something in, which I don't think I want to do. We're just going to keep this one kind of simple. Okay. Oops. Okay. And our spine. This one's nice for the spine. We have, it ends up being 2 1/4, so I'm going to cut it by 2 1/8 by 3 7/8. Oops. He's going to go right there. Okay, so this is the spine piece. And if you wanted some kind of closure on this, it depends on what kind you want. If you want a ribbon closure, I suggest you put that on before we do the paper. And if you want like a grommet ribbon closing, then you do that later. So it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, I don't have any more scrap, so I'm going to use a full sheet of paper to cut this. So again, we're going to need 4 by 3 7/8. And I like this one because this is a smaller version. This is a smaller version of that. So I think that's kind of neat just to have that repeated on there. Of course, we could always use this side too. And because it's a collection, it all goes together. A little extra tape there. It's a cover. Okay. So there we go. That is the cover and pages of a 4x4 mini album with a 2-inch spine using the Stack the Page system. And next time we'll start decorating the pages and have real fun. We'll see you next time. Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your regular price purchases. And I hope you subscribe and come back next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.